G'day and welcome to another Pokemon Go video. So jumping into Go Battle League. So rank 8 currently, 2163. So in my last set I actually went 1 win, 4 losses. I was running into a reasonable number of Meganium leads. So I think I'm going to switch that up. So I switched my team up slightly last game to have a Wigglytuff in the back rather than a Registeel. So I think I may leave the team composition the same, and hopefully, so the bit that makes it difficult, this one, is if they switch into if they lead with a grass type. So let's see how it goes. So I'm going to use the same team and see if we can start getting some wins back on the board. If I'm running into a whole lot of grass types on the lead, then I might switch things up. So let's see how we go. So jumping into this first one, I really should take some attention into. So this is interesting. Let's see who they swap this out for. So that's straight into the Azumarill there for them. So they managed to get to their charge move first, which is interesting. So I thought I swapped out pretty quickly, and they'll be able to throw a couple of ice beams there. So I will, if it will let me, instead it'll let them throw another quick move, and then eventually let me touch the discharge button there. So they have shielded that one, so that's interesting. So I'll see if I can get to my second discharge. No, so because of that lag I couldn't get to a discharge. I've managed to get to 2 ice beams before I can get to to discharge. So it just shows you a little bit of lag there, which is not good. And then of course they get this one thrown straight off. So they're going to be not shielding. Oh wow, so they are shielding that, so that's interesting. So I'm not 100% sure why they would shield that. So I'm just trying to figure out what's the best move. So I have swapped a while ago now, but they didn't want to let me switch out. So this lag is not ideal, really not ideal. So I've thrown the Earthquake there, and that's done a whole lot of damage. So I need to be able to get to this Hydro Pump before they can. So this is going to be really interesting to see how this goes against their Shadow. So let's see how they're... Oh, so they've come back out with this. So that's probably a good bet on their part. So obviously no shield here, so let's see how this goes. I'm hoping so it's a play rough, so that's going to take me out, so that's fine. So I'm just thinking of what I should do here. So I'm going to throw the Galvantula and go straight into the Bug Buzz, and then I will jump into... See if this would let me switch. So that took me straight out, which is not ideal. Let's see if I can get Fast Move Farm this thing down. So this shouldn't take me out from this range. So being a Shadow, it's going to do more damage. Let's see what it is. So it's Crunch. So that's going to be, wow, resisted, but it still does a lot of damage. So then, yeah, being able to take it out. So good to get the win off the board there. And we'll jump into the next one and see how we go. So let's even with that resisted damage, it's just those Shadows just absolutely dish out some some punishment. So interesting to see how we go. So I wasn't even able to switch. So another Shadow. So that's interesting. So let's see what they do here. So I expect they may try and get out of there. So they're not. So I will throw this Ice Beam, maybe. Let's see. So this one, so Shadow and Fairy. And those shadow Pokemon are just absolutely going to town. So that's brutal. So they're swapping to the Psychic, so I'm going to switch up as well. So I'm not sure. So this is going to be... So I'm going to Shield. Because I want to win this match. I need to win this this secondary match here, and then I can even up the shields. So they've got to a second one, so I'm not going to shield this one, and let's see how we go. So it's another Rock Slide, and that does a bit of damage, so the next Rock Slide will KO if I don't shield. And I'm going to pull the trigger on the Ice Beam here. Let's see whether they shield or not. I don't think they will, to be honest, just because it's so close to being taken out. Let's see what's in the back. So that's not ideal. So they're going to just keep on... so that's interesting. So they're not actually throwing a charge move here. So I should have switched out. So they've probably got back-to-back flash cannons here. So let's just go... so this is going to be interesting. This is probably going to KO me, to be completely honest. Let's see. Oh wow, Shadow Ball. Yep, so that's completely destroyed me. And I can't even get my fast move off. So that was the wrong move to do. Should have just thrown the charge move there. Yeah, so that was real poor play on my part. So much would have been much better to have a Registeel in the back there. So that Wigglytuff was pretty useless. Let's see what happens here. So I think I'm going to have to lead with the Wigglytuff if I want it to work. Just because having the Wigglytuff in the back is just really not doing anything for me. So this again... so many different teams here. So this is what, Fairy and Ice for the Ninetales there. So I'm going to charge up to the... Oh, and they managed to get another charm in. Charge up to the Hydro here and just throw the Ice Beam. I'm really hoping to get a shield. And I did manage to get the shield there. So that's really good. And let's see what they do here. So they may be just trying to absolutely farm me down. So I'm going to throw up my own shield. Let's see what charge move it is. It's just an Ice Beam. But let's see what they do here. So I'm going to throw my Hydro Pump. They're probably going to double shield this and wind switch. Let's see what they do. Oh, so they've not shielded, so that's interesting. So equal shields there, so that's really lucky. So I'm really hoping to get to this Ice Beam. I haven't, so I'm not going to shield that up. But I am going to come in with the Wigglytuff, and then they're going to switch straight out, which is fine. So I'll let this timer go a little bit. Actually, I won't, because we've both got switch clock open. Let's just see what they do here. Are they going to throw? No, they're not. They're going to be... So this is probably just another power-up punch. So it's either a power-up punch or a crunch. So there's absolutely no point in... Well, or a dark move. So there's no point. So probably the foul play is the second move that's running. Let's see what they've got. So yeah, they've quit out there. There's nothing they can do against that. So happy days. So having a... So just after I said having the Wigglytuff in the back is useless, it won me the match, so really happy with that. So let's jump into the next battle. So what I did do wrong there was trying to get to the charge move in... Actually, no. So I was trying to get to a charge move with the Azumarill, which is absolutely fine. And obviously when it comes to the Wigglytuff, you save that for whatever's in the back. So let's jump into the next one and see how we go. So hopefully we can get a decent lead here. It'd be interesting to see. So lots of different people running different teams. So this is really not ideal. Let's see what we can do here. So I probably won't shield the first one up just because I can manage to survive a Shadow Ball. So I won't shield this first one up. I really hope it's a bait. If it's a Shadow Ball, then I'm in a bit of trouble. Oof, it is a Shadow Ball. Of course it's a Shadow Ball. Always going to be the Shadow Ball, isn't it? So I'll throw the Ice Beam there, and then they can... Yeah, so they're going to charge me down. Are they going to go all the... Oh, wow. Oh, so couldn't quite get there. So now they're going to dump a whole lot of energy. So what I might do is try and... So I'm not going to shield this up because obviously it's going to be resisted. So it doesn't matter. It's not going to do much damage. And then I'll... oh, so they're switching out. So that's fine. So now I'm going to swap to my Galvantula here. Let's see what they do. So I'm going to shield this up. I know it's just going to be the flash cannon, which will be resisted, but I do need to, yeah. So if it would let me throw my discharge, that'd be great. So, yeah. So this over tapping is a real pain. Real pain. So let's see what they do here. So for this one, I'm not going to shield. It's going to take me down to probably 2/3 of my health. Yeah, so not too bad actually. Let's hope I can get to a discharge here. So managed to get there a little bit quicker that time, but it's still not ideal. So let's throw into the discharge. So I've let that go, so that's really interesting. So they'll probably come back. Oh, so coming out with the Deoxys. So let's just get... So swap out of there. So no, not letting me swap, so that's fine. So they've thrown the Rock Slide there. So, oh, and I've just switched out. Really frustrating. So really frustrating. So let's see if I can get to anything before they do. No, I can't. So now I'm going to have to charm them down. So this is going to be interesting. So that sacrificial swap basically just won them the game. So had I been able to get this, because another probably 2 of those, so this is actually going to be really close here. Actually it's not, because now they can just Rock Slide me and that's game over. So had I not thrown that Bug Buzz, I would have won this game. I could have swapped out into my own Wigglytuff, and then it would have been a good game. But because they did, they won the match. So good swap on their part. Really frustrating for me, because I was trying to swap out. Had I been able to swap out in time, it would have been absolutely fine. Really frustrating. So... let's jump straight back in. So we're 2-2, I think, for this set. Let's hope we can go positive this time. It's just really frustrating when you get a match that is very winnable. There's a bit of lag going on, so you don't switch out in time, and then just costs you the game. So this is not ideal for me. So let's see what they've got. So I'm going to actually throw into my own Galvantula. So let's see, I'm expecting them to switch out here, so they're not switching, so that's fine. I don't even know what moves the Ampharos is going to have. So they're switching out to a fighter, so that's interesting. So I don't think I should have used... So, oof, that's brutal. So that thing's really throwing down. So if I can get to this discharge, I'll be happy. So there's the discharge. Oh, and I've taken that hit, so that's interesting. So if I can get another one off, I can't. So I think for this, I'm going to come back out with the... Do I shield? I'm going to shield. So it is the Stone Edge, so that actually would have done a little bit of damage, so not a huge amount, but a little bit. So Fast Move farm that one down, and let's see what we've got. So they're coming back in with the Ampharos, obviously. So I'm going to try and... So it is another Thunder Punch. So let's see what they do here. So I want to swap that out. I fully expect them to swap out now as well. And I've got... Ooh, so this is interesting. So what I'm going to do is throw the Play Rough. Ooh. So I really hope this isn't a Hydro. It probably is. I think they had long enough, yeah. And it's taken me out. And I've just thrown the Hydro Pump on them. So this is good game as well. Had I been able to get to the... had I been able to get to another... So they're going to save the shield, and I'm going to have to try and charge this all the way down. I don't know how much energy is on the Ampharos in the back there, but this is definitely going to put me within range. So let's just charge this down, if it ever goes down, and then I'm going to have to throw back-to-back Ice Beams. Apparently they get to throw first, of course, and then that's good game. So a bit frustrated with those set and the last set. So I've managed to win 2, well, I've gone 3 and 7, so really frustrated at the moment with those games. So not looking great there. So 2 wins, that's going to drop me back again. So 2163, let's claim that reward. So 2154, so that's not looking good. So I think the moral of the story is I'm just going to change back to my Registeel, because where the Wigglytuff has helped me in one game basically to win, so it won me the game where they had a Scrafty and an Altaria. It's realistically lost me a whole bunch of others, so it's not working out. So next set I will change back to the Registeel. So I mean, hopefully it gives you an idea of what to do, what not to do, and it definitely looks like what not to do is swap your team up when you move into a more difficult rank, because you start to get schooled, which is exactly what's happened to me. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.